Hey, before we dive in, a quick heads up. This series is called Validating the BPD Life, and that's exactly what it's here to do. Validate the experience of living with borderline personality disorder, hopefully making you feel a little less alone. That said, if you don't have BPD, there's still value here, especially if you've loved or currently love someone who does. But fair warning, we'll be talking about some heavy stuff. Self-harm, self-destructive behavior, hospitalizations, and a lot of emotional pain. You might feel grief, guilt, anger, rage, shame, or confusion while watching. And if you do, that makes sense. Don't judge yourself for feeling anything. Don't shame yourself for being triggered. Emotions show up for a reason, even if you don't know that reason right away. If it helps, try saying, "It makes sense I'd feel this way after everything I've been through." And if you've ever been hospitalized or felt like you were losing your mind, I wrote a book about my own experience at a psych ward, and you can grab it at the link right here. Or here. To be honest, I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, so I'm just going to say grab it. It supports the work I do and might help you feel a little less lonely on this journey. All right, without further delay and nothing more to say, buckle up, Buttercup. It is time to walk the middle path towards common humanity and a wise mind. I used to ghost people I loved. It felt safer than staying. It wasn't always what people think, though. Yes, fear was the driver. And it wasn't only fear of them leaving. It was fear of myself, fear of being perceived as a problem or a burden. Fear that if I stayed, I'd collapse under the pressure of being seen, of being too much, too emotional, too needy. The thing is, I didn't just fear them leaving. I feared me leaving first, because that felt easier, safer. I didn't trust myself to stay grounded in a relationship, so I'd ghost. I'd pull away before they could pull away. It was preemptive abandonment. It's a reflex when you're used to people leaving. You expect them to leave, and eventually you convince yourself that it's your fault, that you're just too much for them to handle. So you do the only thing you know how to do. You leave first. You shut down. You disappear. And you justify it by telling yourself that you knew it was coming anyway. Better to get out of it while you still can. This is where the self-sabotage comes in. I'd push people away before they could hurt me. I'd sabotage the good things, the healthy connections, because deep down, I believed I didn't deserve them. I believed that I was just a mess, a problem waiting to be fixed, and I didn't trust anyone enough to let them stick around for the cleanup. For me, it wasn't only about avoiding rejection. It was also about keeping the narrative that I was too broken to be loved. If I couldn't prove that by ghosting, I'd make sure the story stayed alive by cutting people off when I felt vulnerable. Or by creating conflict to force them to leave, because in my mind, if they left on their own, I wouldn't have to face the discomfort of choosing to leave first. And then, maybe, I wouldn't feel like a failure. But here's the thing about BPD. When you're stuck in preemptive abandonment and self-sabotage, you can't see that you're pushing away the very thing you want most: connection. You're so terrified of being left, you destroy the opportunity for stability and closeness because it feels safer to be alone, or at least in control of the distance. This is where DBT has changed everything for me. With mindfulness, I've learned to pause when the urge to self-sabotage comes up, when the desire to run away kicks in. I can breathe through it and say to myself, maybe they won't leave. Maybe I'm not too much. Maybe I can show up as I am. Wise Mind has taught me that I don't have to act on these impulses. I don't have to ghost them out of fear that I'll be abandoned. And more importantly, I don't have to believe the lie that I'm not worthy of being seen and loved just as I am. So what's the dialectic? The part of me that fears abandonment is real. And so is the part of me that can stay present and ask for what I need. I don't have to sabotage myself to protect myself. I can allow people to love me without needing to push them away first. It's a process, and there are days when the urge to run is strong, and I don't have to act on that urge. I'm learning that staying can be more powerful than disappearing. It's a skill, not an instinct, and it's okay if I don't get it perfect every time. And here's the reality. It's normal to be scared. It's normal to feel like a walking contradiction, wanting connection but terrified of it at the same time. And that's the struggle of BPD, isn't it? The conflict of wanting love, connection, and stability while pushing it all away because it feels unsafe. The good news? The more we practice mindfulness, the more we lean into the discomfort of staying, the more we learn that we can have what we want without destroying it out of fear. You're not broken because you ghost people or self-sabotage. You're simply learning how to handle fear, how to stay grounded when your emotions are telling you to run. And with DBT or other helpful interventions, you can begin to rewrite that story, one small step at a time. You deserve connection. You deserve love and stability and the kind of relationships where you don't have to shut down or push away to feel safe. And even on the days when it feels like a battle, know that you are learning, growing, and practicing your way into a life worth living. Remember, you've got this.